Welcome, beautiful mamas. I am your host, Shay Harrison. This podcast is a place for Springfield and local surrounding area mamas to share their stories about life, motherhood, and everything in between, completely judgment-free. I am so excited to be able to share these stories with you and give women an opportunity to be heard. So if you're ready to laugh, open your mind, and be part of a supportive sharing community, let's crack on. Awesome. Welcome to the podcast. How are you feeling?
A little bit nervous.
A little bit nervous. Don't be. It'll be fun.
Yes.
So as always, I'll get you to introduce yourself. So your name, your age, and then how many kids you've got and their ages.
Okay, my name's Sally. I am 37 and I've got 3 kids, ages 7, 5 and 3. So I am a lover of Jesus, so a Christian, but I only came to be a lover of Jesus in 2010. So how many years is that?
11 years
11
ago.
years.
That's not that long ago.
No. So
Can I just ask, is lover of Jesus a term that is used regularly, or is that just something that you've created for yourself?
Yeah, it's something that I've created
Okay,
for myself.
that's fine. I wasn't sure if it was a common phrase used amongst the Christian community.
No, I like to bring it down a bit instead of being, I'm a Christian or I'm a Lutheran or
it does sound
like
quite serious when you do say it that way.
Yeah, so I'm just like, yes. So
2011.
2010.
Oh, yeah,
so
sorry, 11 years.
It's funny how it came about because my husband and I met via my colleague. We were set up.
Yep.
So he was a Christian, and during that time before we met, he was praying for a wife.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then gave up.
Yeah.
And then we met. So, but during that time when my friend, my colleague, was trying to set us up, I wasn't ready. Okay. So I had bad boyfriends and just, I wasn't ready for another person. And she's like, how about I set you up with my friend? And I'm like, I'm not ready for another bad boyfriend. Or
did you know that he was a Christian before you met him?
Yes.
Or is this part of the
story? No. Before I agreed
to go out with him,
to meet him. He doesn't know this, but
goody. Yes, let's get all the goss.
I went through a whole list of requirements. So I was like, is he this? And what does he do?
Yeah.
Is he saving? Is he, a deadbeat? All that kind of stuff.
So you were 26 at this point.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're at a point as well where you're not really looking to mess around anymore.
Yep. So been through the party phase, going out every weekend and was just ready to settle down and find someone who was ready to settle down as well.
That's the big part, isn't it? That person. Yeah.
So anyway, so we met and we hit it off. He was still going to church, but I wasn't. And he suggested we go and I was like, no. Would you
have considered yourself spiritual or religious before meeting him?
No.
Did you find that the fact that he was spiritual an off-putting, or you just were open to it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Kind of, whatever. If he's a good guy, then he's got good values.
Yeah.
Then it should be fine, but...
Yeah,
I was whatever. My parents were not Christians. They never went to church. They... against it sort of, but not really. They just don't want to be involved. So it was, I came from a nothing, so just a normal life, what I thought was a normal life, to meeting Greg, who was a Christian. So so then
that's really open-minded of you if you've come from an upbringing that has had no religious involvement at all.
Like Sunday school, nothing. So it was really different. And then one Easter, I ran after we went to the dam for a water ski.
Okay. Let's make sure that doesn't mean anything else. You actually went water skiing. Okay.
We came back and I said, let's go to church. Instantly regretted it because Greg was like, yes, let's go.
Let's do it right now. We'll find one. Midnight mass.
Because at that point, he had left the church he was at because I wasn't going. And I didn't want to waste, I thought wasting my Sundays being home alone and nothing.
Yeah.
So then he's like, all right, you pick the church.
Yeah.
And then I'll check it and make sure it's okay.
Yeah.
And
the
then
research.
we'll go. Yeah. And then that Sunday we went. So I picked a church local.
Yep.
And it was a Pentecostal church, which means it's a happy clappy, hands up in the air.
Oh, okay. Then it's like singing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not strict kind of, quiet, stand up, sit down, say a psalm or a prayer. It was, very open and jumping up and down and very confronting for someone who hasn't been to church before or has only been to like a Lutheran church that's been up and down sitting
Greg sorry Greg, his church that he'd been to previously, was it more like straight up and down, or had he experienced this before? So this was his comfortable area.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we walked in. Greg saw someone he knew straight away.
Oh, yeah.
We were introduced to a couple who I'm now very close and very good friends with. Yeah. Who were just hilarious.
Yeah.
And sat down and experienced the church. Yeah. And everyone was so loving and just opening as well. Welcoming. I was so ready for the judgment. You think you have to be perfect to be able to walk into a church and sit down. Okay. But no way. You just go in and experience it and everything. So Greg went and rededicated his life back to Jesus down the front, and I was like, no, you cannot go down there.
Don't leave me.
I've got these crazy people around me. But no, he just went down. I was just like, don't look anywhere. Don't look at anybody's eye contact. All that kind of stuff. But after a couple of weeks, I chose to bring Jesus into my life by putting my hand up behind my back. So because they do an altar call where if you want to have Jesus into your life, then you put your hand up and then they come and you say a prayer, and then they come and talk to you after about the next steps. So getting a Bible, reading the Bible, getting you connected into a group so that you can do you learn more about Christianity and faith and all that kind of stuff. So I finally did that. And
did your husband or partner, boyfriend at that time know you were going to do it, or was it spontaneous?
Spontaneous.
Yeah, you just decided today was the day.
Had that feeling. You kind of get a warm feeling inside that it's right, and it's just I kind of had an emptiness before, and then experienced the worship, the music, just the love. That was a big thing. It was, it's love God, but love people. Yeah. And you're not alone. So that was a big thing for me as well. So I didn't feel alone. I felt welcomed, and I was like, this is the right thing. Yeah. And the other thing, thinking, through our everyday lives, Christianity is involved. Like, Jesus is involved. We celebrate Christmas. We celebrate Easter. They say a prayer in Parliament, all that kind of stuff. And I was like, well, how is this here? And I haven't really introduced, this is kind of the right way. Yeah. So,
that's really good.
So we've been through a couple of churches because one folded and started up another one, but where we're at the moment is kind of, it's a good place, and we got some really good connections and friends and stuff that just love on you. When I had my first child, the first week after you come home from hospital is just the craziness. And every night we had someone come over and bring us a dinner. Oh, and most times it was dinner and dessert. And after you give birth, you're just like, man, I want to eat anything and everything. So having that was just amazing, and just feeling the love. It was, they just want to come in and say, how are you doing? Yeah. But they'll stay for just a little bit and say, I know that you're exhausted. Baby. Yeah. And that time too, you kind of feel a bit isolated because you want to stay home with, until 6 weeks with the vaccinations and all that kind of stuff. So, that was kind of it, and just loving it from then on. So at the start, you just want to tell everybody
that you've committed yourself to Jesus.
You just want to get everybody on board, and you just
join us.
Yeah, you kind of
knock, knock, knock. Let me tell you about our Lord Jesus Christ.
Yeah, look how much I've changed. Yeah, and you just there's so much joy around it. So that was amazing.
Shout it from the roofs.
Yeah. I just knew that was right. My parents were very wary.
Yes.
Mainly because of like money, and they've been watching A Current Affair a bit too much.
As in they were scared the church was going to take all your money?
Yeah, it's all about the money.
Oh, okay then.
It's not about you. It's like a business, but...
Yeah, right.
So we've had to overcome that hurdle.
But are they in a better place now, considering it's been 11 years?
No.
Okay, fair enough. No, that's fine. That's fine.
No, they're still against it, but they've accepted it.
Okay, well, that's positive.
Yeah, so they're just... every question is, are you still paying to go to church? Is they're saying.
Do you pay to go to church?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
You don't.
I didn't think you did. So
No.
I was going to say, no wonder they're a bit sceptical if you're paying to go to church, but if you're not, then...
No.
Yeah,
it's
okay.
different. So, yeah, it's been great, especially after having kids. I had my first, and he was a breeze, pretty much. Put him down, you sleep.
Yeah.
Put him down, I'll pick him up, he was happy.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of not really a touchy-feely person, and I don't really like holding babies. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Even your own, or is it different with when it's your own? No judgment either way.
Not really my own either.
Yeah, okay.
Like, I was just kind of like, yeah, okay, you can just
Sleep.
stay.
Do not roll.
And I know there's a lot of people who just love babies and they want to hold them, and I love that.
Yeah,
but I'm
it's
just
not
like,
for you.
I'm good.
I totally understand that. Totally understand.
Yeah, so my first was good. So he was happy by himself.
He was compliant.
Yeah.
Didn't need to be held.
Yeah.
And you were like, yes.
This is the breeze.
Yeah.
And he slept, which was a good thing. Sorry for all the mums that don't have sleepers.
Yeah.
But he was sleeping through at like 6 weeks or 7 weeks.
Wow.
So I was the one getting up in the middle of the night, kind of poking him, making sure that he's alive.
Still breathing.
Husband's like, can you just not wake him up? And I'm like,
It's hard though, isn't it? You're like, just sleep through. And then they do sleep through and you go, no, something's wrong.
because you wake up and your boobs are like...
Yeah, rocks. Yeah.
You need to cut... You're like, don't move, otherwise I'm going to squirt you.
Yeah, yeah. It's just leaking everywhere. Yeah.
So he was great. And then I had my second thinking they would be exactly the same.
Oh, goody. Yes.
Totally opposite.
How many years difference is there again between the two of them?
2.
Okay, then.
2 years.
So you've got a 2-year-old and then a newborn.
Yes. So she came out and she loved being held.
Yeah.
Couldn't put it down.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
She'd sleep at night. But,
sleep through?
Yeah.
Okay.
But during the day, I had to hold her all the time. She didn't like to be put down. She'd, I could get her down to sleep for a little bit and that was my break. But then I would have my son there and I wanted to play with him.
Yeah.
And, make sure that they're getting equal attention.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was just... I was struggling as a mum, and I was just like, I don't know what to do. The worst thing that happened was someone who's going to remain anonymous said to me, I was told that if you choose to have children, then it's your responsibility to look after them. So don't expect me to come and help and look after your kids for you. And so I just went, okay, I'm doing this on my own. And
I've heard that a few times and that just absolutely blows my mind.
So it was horrible.
So you took that upon yourself as I can't ask for help from anyone? Or just ask for help from that specific person?
From anyone and that, so both.
Yeah.
I was just, okay.
You have to do this by yourself because you've made the decision to have kids.
Yes.
Fuck, that's a lot of pressure.
Yes.
With a child who doesn't want to be put down.
Yes.
When you don't want to hold anyone. Don't fucking touch me.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, I feel like a failure because you're just like, why isn't she going down? Why can't I do this? So I actually developed postnatal depression with her because I felt like I couldn't ask for help. Yeah. My husband is a shift worker, so he was of the opinion that he needed to sleep and I had to get up to her in the night if anything happened or, hold on to her during the day. And, it was a really bad time.
I can imagine. Going from 1 to 2 is tough, but if you have an easy, I'm using air quotations, an easy baby, then it does make it easier.
Yes.
But then going from 1 to 2 is a whole new level. But then having experienced an easy, again, air quotations, baby to then a not so easy baby, I can't imagine how overwhelming and...
It was.
Oh,
it was
you
just...
poor thing.
Yeah. So at the same time we were starting a new church as well. That's when we decided to move and help start a new church in Red Bank Plains.
Yeah.
And they didn't have many helpers. It was very small.
Mm-hmm.
Greg is a drummer, so he was on band pretty much every week.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember, like, I was turning up every week
mm-hmm.
and, you know, a baby strapped to the front of me and the other one running around. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, I'm such a acts of service. So
yeah, that's the love languages.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I feel like I have to help.
Mm-hmm.
I have to, like, pick something up. I have to, you know, stand and direct people. Mm-hmm. You know, that's me. But no one was giving me anything because they were, you know, put me in the,
baby.
Oh, you're the new baby person.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
so they think they're helping you, but they're just wishing your love language.
Yes.
Just making things harder.
Yeah.
Because you want to help and
yes.
feeling useless and feeling isolated and already struggling with having kids.
Yeah.
And yeah, well, yeah.
So everything. So I was there.
Oh.
I was loving Jesus, but I was just empty. I was just, nothing was going in because I just didn't feel the love from the people.
Yeah.
That I was giving out so much love and then nothing was coming back. So,
but really they were doing what they thought was best.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, just, you know, and then fear of missing out, you know,
yes.
that as well. And I was just like, but I want to do that.
Yeah.
And they're like, but you've got a baby. And I'm like, but
I can still do it.
I want to do it.
Yeah, someone hold the baby.
Yeah.
I'll do this. I don't even like holding the babies.
Yeah. I'm like, here you go. So anyway, so one day I remember sitting out on the patio and just looking out, holding my daughter, and my son was playing. And I was like, I just want to put her down and walk away. Like, I'm done. I can't do this.
Yeah.
And I think my husband was at work then too. So I was just like...
You were at home?
Yep. Home alone. Home alone.
Well,
so
the kids, but yeah.
Yeah. And then I went, hold on, that's not right.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be feeling like I want to
leave.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think a couple of weeks before that we had, months before that we had a pastor who gave a preach. It was a woman, mm-hmm. and she talked about her depression mm-hmm. and how she was driving and she just wanted to turn the wheel.
Was hers postnatal depression as well, or just depression?
She had kids, so it could have been postnatal, but delayed. But she spoke about turning the wheel and just saying, I'm done.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to, I didn't think I was that far down the end of, you know, killing myself. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to harm the kids, but I just wanted to get out of that situation at that time and just hang over here for a little bit. And then come back. Better. So went and saw the doctor. Couldn't talk to my husband because, you know, I felt like I'd be a failure to him because I'm meant to be, you know, I'm the mum, I'm the wife, and I'm meant to be holding it all together for everybody. Yeah. And I just felt I couldn't. Yeah.
How old was your daughter at this point?
I think she was about 6 months.
Yeah, so that's a fairly long time to be experiencing these feelings.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember she was sitting up. So,
she was so cute.
She was. So she was strong-willed too. So, you know, I couldn't coerce her to do something. She was like, nah.
I know what I'm doing, Mum. Yeah. You don't know. You do not know.
And so went to the doctor and got on a mental health plan, which sounds horrible, but I was like, no drugs. I do not want drugs. I want to do this like the other way. So went and saw a psychologist and got some tips and tricks to do. So
sorry, just when you recognised that there was something that wasn't lining up, when you knew that you wanted to leave, was the decision to seek help instantaneous, or did you try and I'm fine for a little while and then recognise that you needed help?
I was feeling like I wasn't right for a while.
Okay.
And then when I had that
specific incident,
I was like, no. And I think it was more a spiritual thing that was like prompting me to go to the doctor and say,
Yep.
no, you need to get fixed.
Yep, okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So I went to the psychologist. She gave me some tricks. One of them was just to get time by myself. So I just wasn't getting that.
Yeah.
And the thing that I like to do was exercise.
Yeah.
So I had to go and join an exercise group.
Is this homework that she's given you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the other things was that I couldn't keep up with the housework.
Yeah.
And I felt like a failure.
Yeah.
And to do that. So she's like, get a cleaner.
Yeah.
So then I organised a cleaner to come, and then they bailed, and I was like, oh, well, I tried it again.
Yes, I'm doing everything to help myself, and no one's helping me.
Yeah. It was, I was just done. Anyway, but then I spoke to someone at church, and they're like, no, we've got a really good cleaner. I'll give you their details. And then got them over, and they gave me a price, and I was like, clean. Whatever.
I'll pay you $1,000 right now to clean my house.
And we still got them.
Yeah,
and,
right.
Yeah, so they've been amazing. So that was another thing I had to do.
That's been like 6 years then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were amazing.
That's so good.
And
it's funny, just something small, like if you have the financial option of hiring someone, just getting in the cleaner or whatever it is makes such a big difference.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think we were willing to give up something else.
Yes.
You know, nowadays it would be, Netflix or Stan. I was willing to give up one of those so that I could have a cleaner.
That's really, that's good.
Yeah. And then the other one was to ask for help.
Yep.
And from my parents. So I had to, ring them and say, hey, can you come over? And then my dad is a 2-hour limit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So once 2 hours comes up, he's like, all right, time to go.
Where are you? I'm leaving.
So, but my husband's parents are wonderful, and they are, whenever, they'll stay for as long as they need, or even like overnight. Yeah. They're just so flexible and loving. And I was like, why couldn't I see this at the start of having my second child, like knowing that they'll be there? So that's been, and now I can call them and say, hey, can you,
they live close to you then?
They're half an hour away, but they're still...
Not too bad.
Yeah, they still love it.
Yeah.
So that was the couple of things, but so I got them on board, but I was still feeling not better.
Yeah.
But all right. And then...
Stepping forward in the right direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I went to church one day and I think my daughter was sleeping in the pram, so I could actually worship without distractions. And then one of the guys got up there to give a message, and he was praying about coming out of the tomb. So when you think of depression, you kind of you've dug yourself a hole, and you're trying to get out, but it's just darkness. You just can't get out. So he was talking about coming out of the tomb, like similar darkness, and stepping into the light. And
is that Jesus's tomb? Like, is that where
okay then. Because there was Lazarus, all that kind of stuff. So,
I have religious. Okay, fair enough, yeah.
But it was just a metaphor.
The tomb, metaphor.
A tomb coming out. And there was a song that was playing, and it was all connected.
Yeah.
And then he also talked about you standing against, like, facing the enemy. Yeah. And you, like, the enemy is, like, taunting you.
Yeah.
But you look beside you, and he said, I'm getting goosebumps.
Yeah, right.
You are, you're not alone.
Yeah.
There is an army of angels, an army of people around you. Yeah. So you are never alone against the enemy. So I just was like, oh.
Yeah, he was talking to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just felt this heaviness lift off me.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I am good. And then I got a word to say, you are healed. Yeah. But your wounds are deep, so it's going to take time. Yeah. But you are healed.
So when you say a word, is that like a message from God to you, or how does that work?
Yeah, sort of. Okay. Yeah, people talk differently to God. Like, some people hear audible words, some get pictures, some just, it's just like...
sense of feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I got that, and I was just like, oh, this is just...
Yeah.
I was like full again.
Yeah, right.
The emptiness was gone, and then I went back to the psychologist, and she's like, how you going? I'm like, I'm great.
Yeah, I'm fixed. Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, what happened? And I was like, well.
Let me tell you.
And then I was like, nah, I didn't want to go into too much details, but I was like, I'm good now.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, I know I've got a long way to go.
Yeah.
But I'm good.
Yeah.
So that was just a crazy time and
relief.
Jesus just being there.
Do you find that obviously you've said that you feel guided through life through your faith? Do you find that with parenting as well? Or is it a bit different?
It's a bit different when the kids are so young.
Yes, okay.
So you set the values early and then let them go for a little bit. But then once they hit, early teens, that kind of area, that's where you really need to bring it back in again.
Like more specific guidance?
Yeah. So the youth programs they have at churches or even other spots are amazing. You just don't think it's church. Yeah. But it is. And they play games, they play capture the flag and slime games and I'm like, this isn't church. My image of church was you sit down and you listen to someone talk about the
Catholic,
Bible.
Isn't it?
Yeah, and tell you what you're doing wrong and what you need to do right.
Hail Marys.
Yeah. And then this one is just love. All it is just loving on people, and these kids, some of them, you don't know what's happened at home. Anything could happen, and just bringing love and acceptance and, not telling them that they're bad or not telling them that they should have done this better. You should have got a better grade and, just barking at them the whole time. Someone that will just embrace them and listen to them is just it's just the love of Jesus. That's what he wanted. He always says, bring the children to him. Don't push them away. Yeah. And, so many times you want to, shush your child. Yeah. But, Jesus is like, nah, bring him.
Yeah.
I love
so
children.
You apply that to then the way that you're just love and listening and not telling them that they're bad or anything. You apply all of that to your children as well?
Well, yeah.
It's a bit tougher because you have to parent.
Yeah, so you still do discipline, but it's not, you don't just bark at them and tell them that they're horrible or... Yeah. You always, you tell them with discipline, you do tell them what they've done wrong. Yeah. What they could have done right. Yeah. But tell them that you still love them. Yeah. And then, they just feel that end bit. Yeah. And they know, oh, okay, mum still loves me. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, right.
So I'm not up to the teens and the crazy time because I'm going to expect that.
I think the crazy time's now though with 3.
Yeah, but they're still young, so
they're busy. You got 3 busy children.
Yes, they're all runners.
Yes, yes they are.
So I get my extra exercise in.
Yes, you do. Your daughter, who's your second postnatal depression, and then you went back for a third.
Yes.
In that interim, did you resolve do you feel like your postpartum depression was resolved and that's why you went for a third, or?
I always wanted 3.
Yeah.
And I spoke to someone about, am I going to be judged because I want another baby and I had postnatal depression with the second? Yeah. That I shouldn't be going for a third.
Oh, that's so interesting.
But she was like, no, you do you.
Yeah.
If you shouldn't feel that way.
No.
You this one could be totally different, which he was. He was back to another calm baby because he was a boy. But yeah, so that was the interesting because I was worried. Yeah. I was really worried that I was going to get judged for having another one. And
were you worried that you would lapse as well? Like fall back to where you were after having your daughter? Or was it just really the judgment that you were concerned about?
It was that I was going to lapse back to that, but I already had the tools there and I had the reminder that you are healed.
Yeah, okay.
So I think I even wrote it on a piece of paper and put it up in my bedroom to say you are healed, because you do get the taunts that from the enemy saying, oh, well, you had postnatal depression before, should you be having another baby? So I was like, no, I am healed, so I'm okay.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, bye.
Yeah, leave now.
So, be gone.
Who did you feel would judge you? Like the church community or family or?
Friends, family, church, everyone.
Okay, then.
Because I do care what people think. Even though I shouldn't. Yeah. My husband doesn't have that as much.
No, men don't, do they? They just breeze through life. They don't give a fuck. Here we are. Love me. And they're like, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did care, but no, I was just like, nah, this is what I want.
But they were unfounded as well, though. Do you feel, now that you look back, that your unfounded concern that you would be judged, your concern for being judged was unfounded?
Yes.
It was just in your head?
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You felt, pressure you've put on yourself.
Yes. There's always some people that, like, look at you sideways.
You could have 2 babies and they would look at you sideways. Yeah. You could have 5 babies and they would look at you sideways. Do you feel that these personality traits, like listening and caring and love and things like that, do you think that you had them, or do you think that they're foundational for you? So you will have been raised with them, and like before finding Jesus, did you feel that these were things that resonated with you and you were able to provide to other people? Or is it something that since you found your faith that have developed from there? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was an introvert.
Yeah, okay.
Before,
oh, really?
Yes, before I met Jesus. So I was happy to sit in the corner and not be noticed and not talk to anyone and not say anything at all.
Yeah.
So now I am a extroverted introvert.
Yeah. Yes.
So I'm willing to go up and say hi and make the first, step. And sometimes I don't, but it takes a lot of energy and a lot out of my tank to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the big change that happened in me as well, is that I was willing to actually say hi. Like I'd happy to look people in the eyes and smile.
Yeah.
But that was it.
Yeah,
I wasn't ready to make a conversation, and I felt like I was never good at that.
Yeah.
And never good at speaking, and would always say the wrong thing, or and people like, you're weird, see ya.
Do you think that that came with love? Like the love of the church and self-acceptance has then improved your self-worth?
Yes.
So then your self-worth has like given you the power to be able to say hello and like reach out to people that way?
Yes, given us the boldness.
Yes.
Yes. So knowing that God created us and He created me in a certain way, and that He loves me for who I am.
Yeah.
And knowing that I can go up and say hi to people and I've still got someone who loves me.
Yeah.
Even though people would take that the wrong way, but being given that boldness to go and approach people and say, hey, are you all right?
Yeah.
Do you need help?
Yeah.
And most times people are accepting of it. People kind of, they hear that you're a Christian and they kind of step back and judgment, judgment first, and, oh, you can't drink, you can't swear, you can't do this. And I'm like, well, Jesus, his first miracle was turning water into wine.
Yeah. So did Jesus like a drink?
Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, it's just, I just hate that side of it, is that telling people you're a Christian and you love Jesus, and then they automatically go to, oh no, I can't talk to you about anything. I'm like, no, talk to me about everything. I have no judgment, and I'm always accepting, and like whatever circumstance, I try and provide some words of wisdom, but if not, it's just a hand on the shoulder or
I can imagine that would be very draining for you who doesn't like physical contact.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of more draining on Greg at the end of the day, because he's the one that wants to, he's very
is he affectionate?
Yeah, so he's the physical touch.
Yes.
Love language.
Yep.
Oh man, and quality time.
Oh.
And it just it drains me, but I have to.
Yeah, because you know what he needs.
Yes.
And that's your act of service coming back into your love language.
So he'll just sit on the couch right next to me, and I'm like, we've got the whole couch.
Yeah.
But he'll sit right next to me and put his hand on my leg, and it gets hot.
Yeah, I was going to say it's hot.
And I'll just have to lift it up and put it back down on his leg or something.
Yeah.
Like, it's
You're
just
nice.
really
I'm like, get off me. You're too fucking hot.
Sometimes I'm like that.
Oh, okay then.
But, so, when I know he needs it, then I,
but pat on the head. You're good.
But he's like, don't effing touch me.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I am, but to him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, but I've had the kids on me all day.
Yeah.
And then you want to touch me.
Yeah, and you're hot and sweaty and hairy.
Yes.
And you smell a bit.
And it's not always the nice, soft, tender touching. It's usually the sexual touching. And I'm like, dude.
Yes. Or heavy. Like, they put just their hand on you, but you're like, fuck, why is your hand so heavy? Like, what is that?
I think not last night, the night before, he sat right next, like, in the corner of the couch and I was on the side next to it, and he was leaning on me.
Yeah.
But that leaning was hurting me because it was leaning on me, and I'm trying to get away from him. But I was like, please, just can you not?
Yeah.
Done.
I totally get that.
Yeah. So.
That's so funny. Awesome. Is there anything else that you wanted to add? Because that's been really amazing, hearing your insight into your faith and your journey with God.
Yes.
So,
we've got a Christmas no, we can't say that. If you want to know anything, come and talk to me. If you want to know about some of the churches that are around, let me know, because I know a couple of them. I don't say come to my church and you can only come to my church.
Yes.
You know, I'm like,
sign a membership, pay to come to church,
as my parents would say.
Yeah, that's great. That's so funny.
Pay for your ticket.
Yeah.
But no,
you're paying your way to heaven.
Yeah. Well, and checking things off the list. No. Yeah. Just come and talk to me. I'm open, and I'm still young in the faith, but I'm always here to listen. If I haven't got the answer for you, I know people who know a lot more. Yeah. So
That's awesome. Alrighty, well, I'm going to finish with a this or that.
Yes.
So I'll give you
So ready?
Are you?
Yeah.
Have you been waiting for this one?
Yes.
Alrighty, so tea or coffee?
Tea.
Wine or spirits?
Spirits. Beer.
Or beer. Oh, specifically beer. Okay, get-ups or burpees?
Get up. Oh, no, burpees. I hate get-ups.
Ah.
I hate them.
Really good. You know what's coming next week then. Blind or deaf?
Deaf.
So you'd like to be able to see?
Yes.
Yes. Would you rather lose your arms or your legs?
Legs.
Only eat meat or only eat vegetables for the rest of your life?
Veggies?
Yeah.
Veggies, yeah.
Veggies, that was a hard decision. Actually, before we finish up, who's your favourite kid?
I was going to say the cat.
The cat. Yeah, that's fair though. They don't talk back.
Yeah. I know she does.
Does she?
Yeah.
Did you have 2 cats?
Yeah, I did, but one passed away.
My sincerest condolences. Couldn't think of the word then. I'm having a day for words.
The cats are Siamese.
Yeah, I was going to say they're expensive cats.
Yeah, but they just talk back. They're like dogs.
Are they?
Yeah, she's nearly one of the kids.
Oh, really?
When it's food time, she's like, meow! And I'm like, I'll get you in a second. And then she comes and like walks in front of you when you're trying to eat, and I'm just like, get off the table!
Yeah, cats are... I had a cat. Never again will I have a cat after... Well, she's passed now, do you?
Yeah, I love her. She's the best.
I loved my cat too, but it was enough to turn me off for life.
Well, we're not going to get another one for a while.
No.
But
get a dog.
Yeah. She even jumps up. Like, if you click on your body, she'll jump up.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah.
Yeah, right. That's so interesting. Cool.
Mm-hmm.